This video, as my others, is filled to the brim with helpful ideas and lessons. If you want to skyrocket your gains in not only school but life in general, then do take the advice in this video to heart. In this video, I'll teach you the 7 habits of every academic weapon. Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is How to Above. And if you're somebody who's trying to level up in life, whether it be in school or your general health, well then, you're in the right place. Habit number 1, proactivity. What is proactivity? Well, to understand proactivity, the best way I can explain this in an example. What is a proactive person versus a reactive person? A reactive person is probably who you are, and probably what most of the people in your life are. Somebody who waits for life to happen onto them. Meanwhile, a proactive person is somebody who acts upon life. A practical example of this would be a proactive person would study the material. He would go through his notes, his notebooks. That way, when a test comes, he's ready for it. Meanwhile, a reactive person just goes to class and waits and waits and waits, and then boom, when the test comes, like, wait, what just happened? Another example would be when, with two of us, we both work at a company, right? We work at the same job, we're working for the same amount of time, but we both get fired. They're like, no, we don't need you guys anymore, you guys can go off somewhere else. Now, where you might just think that, damn, that was so unfair, I can't believe life is like that. Go complain to your friends and tell them all about how the company is unfair, and like, nah, maybe I should go sue them because that was just not nice at all. What How to Above does is he goes and thinks, you know what, that's fine, let me find another job. Then he works on his resume, he works on his skills, he tries to level up so that he can get a better job at a new firm or a new company. Then he gets a new job, now he's working again, he's back on his feet. Where are you? You're still complaining to your friends about, oh no, how that boss laid you off without any excuse. See the difference? And now you can decide which one you want to be, a proactive person or a reactive person. Obviously, you'll choose the proactive person one because that just makes life much more easier. Instead of waiting on life to happen onto you, you act onto life. You are in control of your own life, and that's actually the main point about proactivity. It gives you the mental clarity that, no, I am in control of my life, not outside events. I don't have to wait for this thing to happen or that thing to happen. I can decide what happens next in my life. So habit number 1 of every academic weapon is that they're all proactive. Habit number 2, they think in years, not weeks. You might have thought of, okay, now thinking ahead and planning ahead, but you only plan for like 2-3 days ahead. Okay, now in 3 days I gotta go here, or 3 days I gotta go there. Meanwhile, somebody who is intellectually gifted, they've already thought months ahead. So when the test comes, you've only studied for like a week, or maybe at most you've studied for 2 weeks. These people have been studying for like an entire month. They've been ready. They've been waiting for this test, and that's the difference between you and an academic weapon. They begin with the end in mind. They do not think, okay, now tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and then the day after tomorrow, they think about, the day after that. They think of, not years from now, I want to be a doctor of sorts. So then they work back from there. They go, okay, now I have to go to medical school. For medical school, I have to get good grades in high school. Get good grades in high school. I get good grades in primary school, and all the way back in kindergarten, they were thinking about, I'm gonna become a doctor. We all know that one guy who at kindergarten he already knew, I'm gonna become a doctor. That's an academic weapon. That's who you gotta emulate. You have to think in years, not just weeks, not just months, years ahead. Okay, now at the age of 24, I want to have achieved this. So then you work your way back to where you are now. That way you're able to move forward, because like the bricks are already laid ahead of you. Now you know, okay, now I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do that, and then I'll end up at my goal. Habit number 2 of every academic weapon is they begin with the end in mind. Habit number 3, prioritization. You do not know how to prioritize. What is prioritizing even? If you don't know the definition, then you do not know how to prioritize. Prioritization is the allocation of limited resources to unlimited options. That's prioritization. Unlimited options means that you can basically do anything. Limited resources means that you cannot do anything, because you do not have unlimited time, you do not have unlimited money, you don't have unlimited resources, yet there are unlimited options. When you prioritize, you know that, okay, now I'm gonna take these limited resources and put them and like attack these unlimited options by focusing on one option instead of these nigh infinite options. That's what academic weapons do. they don't think in terms of like, nah, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. They focus on that one specific thing and then they go all in on that thing. That's why you'll never find somebody who's all round just like the greatest person. Have you ever heard of like the greatest person in the entire world? Not in terms of no, he's the nicest, or no, she's the fastest. In terms of like all around, they're the best at everything: math, physics, running, swimming, flying, traveling through time. They're best at everything. You don't find that type of person, because those people that are good at a certain skill only focus on that certain skill. They do not get distracted by all those other options. They focus on that one thing. That's why I actually had to start with begin with the end in mind. When you know what you're working towards, you're able to cancel out all the noise. You don't stray from the path. You focus. Now I know where I'm going, so I'm gonna stick to this path. That's the importance of prioritization. You have unlimited options, yet you have limited resources. In terms of social skills, think win-win. Instead of thinking of no, how do I benefit, think of how do both of me and this person benefit. This is where a lot of compensation comes into play. When you do a good habit for somebody, or you do a good deed, you get fairly compensated for that thing. When you do a bad thing, you get fairly compensated for the thing. It's like a weird way of actually just saying karma, but whether you believe in karma or not, that's up to you. That's up to you. Just in terms of people, when you do something bad to somebody, then they're more likely to do something bad to you as well. When you do something good to somebody, then they're more likely to do something good to you as well. That's just a common fact. So instead of thinking of no, how do I benefit, think of, hey, how do the both of us benefit from this situation, from what I'm about to say, or what I'm about to do. Whenever you interact with somebody or talk to somebody new, think win-win. That's why most academic weapons are kind of the academic weapons that I know are super social and are socially loved. They're like social butterflies, because they don't think of their own benefit. They don't think of their personal like selfish benefits. They think of, hey, this person that I'm gonna meet now, how do me and him both benefit from whatever we're talking about right now? Let's say they know they're good at school and they know that you're not good at school. So now they go and say, hey, you want me to tutor you on maybe this thing or that thing? Then they do that. Here's the thing about tutoring though. This quick side point about tutoring. Whenever you teach a topic to somebody else, you grasp that topic much easier. So now to that person, they're like, to you, you're a tutor. To you, you're like, damn, if I explain this person a topic, then I'll be able to grasp it much easier. And at the same time, I'll be able to explain the topic to that person, so now they'll also grasp it faster. Like a win-win. And that's the fourth point of how to be an academic weapon in a social sense. Think win-win instead of just your own selfish interest. Because come on, everybody likes that guy. Everybody likes that person who just thinks of, you know what, how do I benefit this person as well as me? Habit number 5. This also plays into the social sense of an academic weapon. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Then to be understood. Whenever you have a conflict with somebody, instead of you thinking, no, how do I bring my point across to this person? Why doesn't this person want to understand me? Why don't they just get me? Everybody's been in that situation before. When you think of, this person is not listening to me at all, they just want to talk, That's how anybody feels when you want to just bring your point across. They just think that, damn, this person just wants to talk. He doesn't want to give me a fair chance. Don't be that person. Be a person who listens before they speak. Whenever you're in a conversation or whenever you're in like an argument with somebody, listen. Understand? Then okay, here's my point. Don't just be quiet for the sake of, I'm gonna be quiet so that I can also say my point. Be quiet for the sake of, I want to understand what this person has to say. Because nobody's perfect. Okay, nobody's perfect. You might have made an error in your judgment, and now the person's gonna bring it up to you like, okay, you can't bump into my car and then run away. So now you're gonna be, okay, maybe that was fault of me, bumping into his car, even though it's not. Like firstly you thought that, no, that's not fault of me bumping in this guy's car, because like I don't know why you would think that wouldn't be fault of you. I mean, that's obviously a problem, but hey, let's imagine for this fake scenario you thought that, no, bumping into the guy's car, there's not a problem with it at all, you were in the right. But that person says that, you can't do that because I just paid this car off, this is my only car, and like, this is my dad's car, I don't have any other vehicles to move around with. Now you're gonna think like, damn, maybe that wasn't so nice of me. Then respond with that new knowledge gained. Now that you understand, you can be understood. Okay, sorry, I was being selfish, blah blah blah, situation resolved. This is with all your social interactions. Don't just try to get your point across like, nah, I want them to get me, I want all of them to just get me. Think of, okay, how do I get this person? What is this person actually even talking about? Understand, then be understood. Habit number 6, they synergize. Synergy, what does synergize even mean? How to above defines synergizing or synergization is not a Power Rangers morph. I promise I'm not a Red Ranger. I want to be, but I'm not. That just means that they connect. Oh, they connect very easily to people. Very easily to connect to them. Here's the point. Here's something that you gotta be wary of when it comes to synergizing. You can't connect to everybody. You cannot, because not everyone is operating on the same wavelength. If I can like explain it in that in like physics terms, you know, wavelengths, like this wave operates at like that many hertz and this one at this many hertz. Not everybody's on the same wavelength, meaning that not everybody's like the same. They can't mix. Not everybody can mix. When you're with somebody who like has totally different values, then there's no point in you trying to synergize with that person. You can try and understand, but then your own values might be lost along the way. Of course, don't be rude to anybody when somebody is interested in something that you're not interested in. Then you want to just like write them off as, nah, I'm not gonna mix with that person. But just seek your people, in the sense of seek people that have the same values as you. Like they also like studying. They also, you know, they're subscribed to How to Above. By the way, yes, they also subscribe to How to Above. You know, you have a lot in common. Synergize with those people. Those people will help you to level up, because when you're in a group of people, it's much easier to make progress when you have somebody to back you up rather than it's just you alone trying to look for your faults. Because sometimes, often, many times, it's not easy for you to see, nah, I was faulting that. That's why you need somebody else to tell you that, hey bro, what you did there, it wasn't you. You're not the type of person, I don't, for as long as I've known you, you're not the type of person who would do such a thing. So yeah, that's why you need people behind you, you need people besides you, you need people to help you to level up. That's why we synergize. We look for people with similar attributes as ours. So that's the 6th habit of an academic weapon. They synergize. Habit number 7, and probably the most important habit, you gotta constantly keep sharpening the saw. You're never too old to learn a new lesson. That's the main point I want to bring across. No matter how old you are, no matter how experienced you are in the field, you're never too experienced, you're never too old, you're never too high in level to learn. So always be open to that. Whenever somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, maybe this studying method isn't as good as that one, you should try this one instead. Don't write them off as, hey, look at this guy trying to help me, like, what is he even talking about? I got 97% last time. What is he talking about? Listen, like, you always have room to grow. You've never gone too big. It's like impossible for you to get too good at a skill. It's literally impossible. Whenever you think you're at the peak of something, at the peak of a skill or the peak of a certain talent, I promise you, there's gonna be somebody who you're gonna think is below you, who's gonna help you get even higher than that. And you're like, wait, what? I thought that was the peak. How am I all the way up here? Then somebody else is gonna come and also gonna say, wait, maybe not that dude like this. Then you're gonna get even higher and higher and higher, and then you're also gonna get to they're also gonna learn this lesson, because I kind of had to learn it the hard way of knowing that there's always room to grow. You always have something more to do. So don't be afraid of growth. Be joyous when you receive it. Be happy to go into life like, I'm gonna grow today. And never stop learning. Thanks so much for sticking till in the video. If you found the content at all educational, do leave a like on the video, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment. And remember, it always seems impossible until it's done.